That one egg was 40 eggs?
That's a big fucking pile of garbage.
I'm the farting demon in this relationship.
I'd be an awesome rich person.
You're both just an
Exactly.
embarrassment.
God, I'm awesome.
We're talking Tom Hanks and his vehicle.
Yeah, I had my finger in my mouth waiting for you to finish.
You gotta get 4 balls or something.
Dick piercing?
No, you know damn well I'm fucking that demon.
It's still sexy. How could that be close and not be
Yeah,
right?
just kill some random dude.
If you want cheese, you get a milk.
You're
tank.
waiting for me.
No, I can hang on it.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of Plotty Time. I'm here with my boy Chump Slap.
What?
I'm Poppascotch. I forgot to say it, but that's okay. You guys all know who I am. And this week, Chump Slap and I are talking about a little movie called Rampage.
Yep, that one. The one with the rock.
Yep, that was the request from Subspace Gaming. Shout out Subspace Gaming. Great recommendation compared to some of the video game movies we've been watching lately. Holy buckets.
Yeah, man, this one had a story.
Yeah. So let's start at the beginning. Sir Chump Slap, have you ever played Rampage in any form?
Oh, yeah, the little, wasn't it Atari or the original Nintendo?
It was definitely on NES. I don't remember if it was Atari.
Definitely played it on NES. I think I played it the cabinet too at an arcade once.
That's awesome. It was the perfect NES rental. Like, it was a game you could rent on Friday, play your heart out for like all weekend, and then you'd be like, okay, I'm done with this game.
Yeah, because it just got monotonous and boring anyway.
It got monotonous and it got way too hard, if I remember correctly. But for those of you that don't know, the basics of the game are you play as one of 3 monsters. I believe in the original was George the gorilla.
Yeah.
There was Lizzie, which was an alligator, but it looked a lot like Godzilla.
Yeah, I always thought it was a Godzilla.
Yeah, it was based off Godzilla. Is as legally close as they could possibly get.
Right.
And then the third one was, I don't know if it was a wolf. I think it was a wolf named Ralph.
Yes, it was definitely a wolf.
And you climb buildings, and the object of the game is, you walk onto a board. You've got 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever an amount of buildings, and you had to go and climb up them and destroy them by punching them, and then eventually the building would fall to the ground.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
you climb up the next one, and that's about it. How does that relate to this story? Not a lot.
Well, it's the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. With all the destruction, that is pretty spot on.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
But other than the monsters, in the movie, we have George the gorilla and we have Ralph the wolf. They share their names with the video game counterparts, but the crocodile is never referred to as Lizzie in the movie. They don't refer to it by name because it shows up in like the last 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, which was interesting choice.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
There's also, just to talk about the differences between the games don't really, I don't think they have much lore. There's been like 6 or 8 Rampage games, and I only remember the core concept.
Yeah, I remember one of the newer one, or maybe the second one. You could grab people out of the building and just eat them.
Oh, it was definitely in the NES one, and that is a fun nod. The movie here did a very fun nod to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that too. But yeah, the Energyne in the movie is the big evil corporation that the Wydens work for. In the video games, it was Scum Labs, SCUMM, an abbreviation, which is
Nice.
great. That's perfect for the world of Rampage, I'd say.
Yeah, that makes total sense. They should have kept that.
But basically, it is exactly the same. The CEOs in the game are just as dumb and crazy and stupid. And basically, it's the same except in name. So really, that's pretty much the only thing that marries the video game to this movie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So let's jump into the movie. Let's talk about it a little bit. Oh, wait, I didn't talk about my experience with Rampage.
No.
This will be quick. I used to play it all the time on NES. I bought a copy in like the last 5 years. I got one back there for it. I could fire it up.
Nice.
Maybe I'll do a stream to promote this episode. Just Rampage playing.
Streaming Nintendo.
That'd be fun.
That would be.
I can do it. I got one of those Hyperkin Retcon consoles. Did you ever see those?
No.
It's like, let me grab it. I gotta show you a Jump Slap. This is cool.
Oh, what the fuck?
It looks like this.
It's like a toaster.
Yeah, it's just you've got ports on the side for Nintendo and SNES and Sega. Those are like player 2, and on the other side you got the player 1. And you put like Genesis, SNES, Nintendo cartridges in the same machine.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. I like
And it
it.
has like HDMI output and all that. It's got a card slot for your saves. It's a pretty cool piece of technology.
Yeah, that's sweet. It beats having all the original consoles.
Yeah, like I have all the original consoles, but like the adapters are like AV cables, so I'd have to get some kind of other adapter to turn into HDMI these days, or find a fucking tube TV somewhere, which I'm not going to do. And I noticed that like every time I want to just like get that fix, like that retro fix, just jump in for a little bit, maybe like a half an hour, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't do it because I immediately think, well, then I got to pull out the Nintendo and find the TV thing, and then I have to plug it into and I always fucking bail. So this gives me no excuse at all.
Exactly. Yeah. I like it.
To just show up, fire it on, play some Rampage for like 45 minutes, be like, that's good, and then call it a day.
See if you can beat it now.
I don't know if that's even beatable. I should check out, like, there's a Game Genie, a way to make Game Genie work on this thing. I got to figure it out.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, that's really my experience with Rampage. Played it way back in the day. I don't think I've ever touched anything after the NES version, maybe a Super Nintendo version or something, but that's about it.
Yeah. I don't know. Do they have like new ones? It says there were 6 of them.
Yeah, there were a bunch, but I don't know if they were like remasters or just duplicates or.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
now I'm looking it up.
Yeah. No.
It's arcade. It spawned 5 sequels, so there were 6 of them.
That's wild.
There was Rampage, the original, in 86. There was Rampage World Tour in 97. I think that's the one we all know from the arcades.
Yes. I've played that one in the arcade.
I remember seeing that. Like that, the logo is very clear. They in the picture on Wikipedia, they have a picture of the arcade cabinet. That is very familiar.
Right.
And arcades were almost like done by the time I was a teenager and could hang out at them. So I don't have a huge arcade background. So if I remember a cabinet, it was extremely popular.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had one at the Lehigh Valley Mall.
Or it might have been the Mahoning Valley Theater.
Oh, maybe.
I do remember playing Die Hard arcade there.
Oh, yeah. That was wild.
And then the next one after that, Rampage World Tour, which was just arcade. And then you got Rampage Through Time.
A Nintendo or PlayStation game.
Yeah, from year 2000. Wow, an original PlayStation game. I should check, see if that's around.
Oh, it's got a mouse on it.
We got Rampage Puzzle Attack for Game Boy Advance, which for some reason, the destruction was the best part of the game. I don't know why they turned it into a puzzling game, but you know.
Well, maybe you had to destroy in a pattern or something.
Maybe. And then in 06, they released Rampage Total Destruction for PS2, which I'm looking at screens and that looks kind of badass.
It does.
This was all just a reason to get me excited about Rampage games.
I know, right?
But we haven't had one since 2006. And you know what? I'm just going to say it before we even talk about this movie. I think it's time. I think it's time for another Rampage game.
I think we could do it. I think they could do a in-depth wild game.
I'll paint a picture for you. Let's start out. Obviously, this has got to be a live service game, right? Like we can't not make it seasons, clearly.
Uh-huh. Yep. Challenges every day.
Challenges every day, your daily challenges, your weekly challenges, your whatever we want to call like the overall challenges. And then we just got to give out skins for like fucking, like we can give out clothes, dude. There we go. We can get like hats on these fucks.
Oh,
yeah.
You
get cool
get
like Jordans.
Propeller
beanies, like a fucking the Skyrim mask. Like we can really.
And you have to be online all time.
Absolutely. And it's monthly. We're charging monthly, folks.
It sounds good, man.
Oh, God. We just conceptually came up with the worst fucking game we could like the worst delivery for a game we could possibly think of. Oh, God. It'll be like Cyberpunk. We'll release it like half finished.
Oh, yeah.
Crashing all
People
over.
love it in 2 years.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, God. I should make a video about Cyberpunk. I've been meaning to. I have a lot of thoughts and opinions.
Yeah. Do it.
All right. Oh, okay. I'll
Make
start
a note
on
of
that. Make a note. Because like I did 3, and we're getting way off topic, but I did 3 minisodes about it and just went through the timeline of everything happening.
Right.
I was thinking about doing a couple other minisodes, picking up from that where I ended until now. But then I was like, well, no one's listening to the minisodes anyway, except for one fan, I believe.
Yeah, somebody did.
I think Drago the Slago is a big fan, but I think that's it. Shout out Drago the Slago. So then I was thinking, like, why don't I turn all that data I already collected in a document and turn that into a YouTube video?
There
and then
you
I
go.
could just grab like press clippings, press stuff, whatever, edit it up. Maybe I'll work on that. Anyway, we're talking about Rampage, the movie. I talked about it a little bit too much. How about you lead us into the story here, Chump Slap?
Okay. The movie starts telling the viewer about CRISPR and how it's possibly evil. I don't know. It's weird intro.
I did read that's a real thing. I don't think it doesn't work like this.
Well, yeah, CRISPR. I mean, I remember when they mapped the genome and then they.
Yeah, and it was CRISPR that did it, or CRISPR was involved. But
Yeah.
so they took a little piece of reality and just added like the craziest concept they could from that. Like, oh my God, what if this happened? And then they just went with it. And which, by the way, not complaining.
No, I was totally fine with it.
Yeah. Like, all right, look, we know this was a monster movie, right?
Right.
Right there, you're either on board or you're not.
Yeah, exactly. It's about a video game and it stars The Rock.
I always say, like, I need motivation. I need reasons for things to be happening. Monster movies, fuck that. That goes right out the window. I don't care how that monster got huge. I want to see it destroy things. That's it.
Exactly.
You give me like a loose reason and it's fine. I'll go with it.
Yeah. If it's just a black screen with white letters that say CRISPR, boom, we're done.
Yeah, sold. So what else you got?
So then it shows where they're doing these experiments with CRISPR, which is on a space station because in case something goes horribly wrong, they don't want it to come back to Earth.
Which is, who signs up for that, dude?
Yeah. Who's that astronaut that's out there dealing with rats that are growing?
Like they know, like they're the scientists, right? Like they know what they're doing.
They know what it's supposed to do, right?
I thought so. They knew the risk, right?
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, I'm in. I need to be in space, which there's probably like 10 really smart psychos out there that would do it just to get to space.
Oh, just for the money. I mean, if you're up there for like 2 years, then you come back, you're set for life. Why the hell
Oh,
not?
yeah. I'm sure they took care of those people too. Even though they're an evil corporation, the one thing they got is money for valuable information. So I'm
Yeah.
sure those people would have got paid had they not all fucking died.
Yeah, I was going to say it. Could have taken care of them, but, turns out they all die because one of the rat monsters got horribly large and aggressive like it was supposed to.
It was the size of like a jet ski.
Yeah.
That's the best way I could describe it. Not like those fancy 4-person riders, but your standard 2-person
just
jets.
a classic ski-doo that you see on the back of a truck.
Exactly. The same model they've had since like 1986.
Yeah. Ain't broke, man.
You're right. They're still moving units. What can I say?
Hey, I kind of want one.
I do too, but I can't, right? I can't.
No,
That'd be crazy.
I'd use it once a year, if that.
I know. And it's like but I don't have to pay dock fees.
Right.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, let me think
I swear to
about it.
God, if I end up with a fucking jet ski at the end of this, oh man.
So there's a rat monster. The last surviving astronaut's like, I'm open the door. Let me get the hell out of here. And Malin Ackerman, whatever, I don't know what her name is here. She's
The
one of
scientist?
No, she's the leader of the corporation.
Claire Wyden. is her
There you
name.
go. She says, you better get my research and bring it back or you're not getting back to Earth at all.
Yeah, she's very clear.
Yeah. She's like, that's billions of dollars of research. I'll let you die up there. Just get it.
The scientist I just wanted to mention, played by Mary Shelton, who was in Death Proof. She's been around. I thought she had a very limited role, but she plays Terrified real well.
Yeah, she did a good job.
Most of the acting in this I thought was pretty good.
Which is weird because when I watched it, I was like, these people are acting against, is there mocap or is there nothing there?
Yes, that was a little jarring in some scenes.
Yeah.
It looked like they were standing in front of green screen a lot. You know what's odd though? It looked like the final fight though looked very good. It was just when actors were standing there talking, it looked weird.
Yeah. Like when he's talking to the George. Well, we'll get in there shortly.
Yeah.
But the astronaut tries to re-enter Earth and the capsule breaks up and everything just rains down on Earth. So cut to The Rock are these new employees or students or what is this?
I think, well, first of all, we should mention there's 2 people here that are on The Boys.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Jack Quaid is Huey, and the dude with the glasses is like the movie director that got slapped real good in season 4.
Oh, yeah. And then we get, what's his name too later.
His name's PJ Byrne. But yeah, they're part of this group. But I got the idea that the guy with the glasses, PJ Byrne, Nelson is his name in the movie.
Right.
I got the idea that Nelson was an employee, but the other 2 were like in some kind of like research role. Like they were learning.
Yeah, they might have been like interns or something.
Yeah, because they were part of the group and they were helping, but Nelson's like, dude, I ran the test. Like he seems like he's been around that lab and knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's definitely like The Rock's partner at this.
Yeah, and he knows him like personally. He says, say hi to the dogs. Like you're better. He does this whole like thing with you're better with animals than people, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, that's classic. You know how that is.
Dude, that was so anyway.
Well, anyway, they're at the San Diego Wildlife Sanctuary.
Beautiful town. Have you ever been?
No, can't say I have.
I made the mistake of going there in June and being like, I just need shorts. It's June in Southern California. How cold could it be? It was cold.
Really?
It was like 60 the whole time.
I'd kill for that right now.
I know, fuck me.
You're in the gorilla encampment, and there's a new gorilla there. He's getting all angry.
Pablo doesn't really know where he fits in the group yet, trying to be the tough guy because he's young and dumb.
Yeah.
That's the vibe that they gave him.
Right.
I don't know Pablo. I didn't speak to him about this.
But he's just making a scene, and he starts chasing Dewey. And the large gorilla shows up, the white gorilla, George, shows up and saves Dewey's life and stops this new brash gorilla from doing anything. Sends him away. Be like, I'm the alpha here. You listen to me.
Yeah, George is an albino gorilla, which we should say, which I don't think currently exists. I got a really weird Wikipedia rabbit hole reading about gorillas, and there was only one other albino gorilla that was born in captivity that passed in like 2003.
Yeah, he wasn't born in captivity, though.
No, George wasn't.
No, sir. He was found. But, well, George is here. He's sign languaging with the rock, which is, I swear, they only have like 3 signs, and he just keeps saying the same thing, different things over and over.
Fun little piece of trivia here is when the rock would do the "it's me" and he points to himself and does that motion with his hands.
Yeah.
That's the sign for rock.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then my wife told me about, she took a semester of signs, so she knows way more about it than I do, obviously.
Yeah.
And she said that when you first meet someone, it's very common to like use your fingers to spell out the name.
Mm-hmm.
And then people start using like create a symbol, almost like a nickname for that person.
Okay.
So they don't have to like hand out the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so his might have been just that.
Yeah, because he'd always just be like, me, boom, boom. Yeah.
Yeah. So that actually, okay, it makes sense that sign language was used that way, but it doesn't make sense of why this gorilla knows 70, they're basically just talking to each other.
Yeah.
They're having full in-depth conversations. It's not like, I thought you taught gorillas like they knew how to say hungry or mad. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
like
he is only really saying like sad and happy, and I don't know. He's playing tricks though.
Yeah, he's doing bits.
He's flipping off the rock.
Which I wouldn't do, but I guess if I was like a 700-pound gorilla, I might.
Oh, yeah. What's he going to do?
Get thrown across the encampment. That's what he's going to do.
So we see this little area, blah, blah, blah. And now they cut back to the canisters from space crashing to Earth. One crashes in the Everglades. One's in some wolf territory somewhere.
I think it was like Wyoming.
Yeah, Wyoming. That's what it was.
Yellowstone, I guess.
And one crashes right by George.
Right in the encampment. Right in his cage.
Yeah, and nobody saw it.
I'm surprised no one saw that. But it falls right into his encampment in a perfect area he can get to. And I kind of got the vibe that he was the alpha, so he had to go check it out.
Yeah, he was just like, oh, I got this.
And then he like looks at it, is like, what the heck is this thing? And then he got an aerosol spray in his face.
Yeah, gas right in George's face. He yells. He goes, oh, no.
He's like, oh, blah, 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 and starts screaming. Which we'll learn more about that virus later, won't we?
Oh, we will. So, cut to the next morning. The Rock gets a phone call. He's got to come in soon because his partner's telling him, "Yo, you gotta see this shit. Get in here."
I guess Nelson just lives there.
I don't know. Nelson either lives there or he's there earlier than everybody else.
Yeah.
So he gets there and he's in the grizzly encampment. Like, what? What the fuck? Why is he in there?
How do you even get in there? What's the deal?
I don't know. So you go in there. There's a dead grizzly, and the Rock's talking to George with his buddy behind him, ready to shoot George in case he needs to be tranked.
Right. George is just hiding in a little cave.
Yes, he's ashamed at what he did.
Yeah, he feels sad. He signed it.
He didn't want to kill that gorilla. He doesn't know the grizzly. He did it. He doesn't know why.
Could a grizzly defeat a gorilla? I guess, right?
I don't know. I'd assume it would be a hell of a fight.
Yeah, it would be nuts. That's for sure. I think the gorilla's faster, but the bear's stronger. So I don't know.
The gorilla has larger range of motion. Seems like it would be easier to like get on its back and just fuck up a grizzly, but I don't know.
I think too, I know bears can climb, which is a terrifying fact everybody should know.
Yes.
But bears can climb, and obviously, but I think gorillas can like take the fight vertical. They're swinging around, they're
Yeah.
jumping around. Are they as agile? Are gorillas as agile as monkeys?
I'd assume so. I don't know though. But bears have fucking claws too, man.
Yeah,
Gorillas
he
do
does
not.
refer to the bear because The Rock is later surprised, not just because George attacked him, but because George killed, I think he said something like the largest terrestrial predator on the planet.
Yeah, yeah.
So The Rock is surprised. Maybe a gorilla couldn't kill a bear. We'll have to sound off in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know if you've ever seen a gorilla kill a bear.
We know nothing about primates or bears.
Or bears, yeah.
Yeah, so shout out.
All right. Well, he kills the bear. He just doesn't know why. And they find out that George has grown like a good 1.5 feet, 2 feet overnight.
Yeah, he is noticeably bigger,
Yeah.
like shockingly larger.
It's very strange. So they don't know what the hell's going on. So then we cut to Energyne, the company that made the serum. And they're talking about rounding up the samples that fell back to Earth because they were in containers that were supposed to be able to withstand re-entry. So
And we have to talk about what is possibly the best character introduction I've ever seen. Other than the dude from American Psycho who was not at the table, slides in and goes, they don't have a good bathroom to do coke in. That's probably the best entrance. This is the second best where they just cut to what appears to be, I think, Claire's office or their office, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a huge office and he's just destroying something on the desk with a bat.
Oh yeah, he's just
That's
smacking.
where they cut to him just destroying it, and then Claire comes in and is like, "Does that make you feel better?" And he's like, "We just lost the blah blah." Blah. I love Brett. I think he's a perfect idiot fail son character. And when he by the time it gets to the end, I'm like, "That's great. Like, that's what Brent deserves."
Yeah, he's all right. So they're talking. They're like, all right, we're gonna send this private army that we purchased because we're a multi-billion-dollar evil company. So of course we purchased a private army.
I have no problem with that narrative wise.
No,
of course
makes
that
sense.
happened. Yeah, willing to buy it.
So we're gonna send them to Wyoming, where the U.S. Meteorological Society claims a asteroid hit Earth or whatever. So
Sure.
they assume that's where it is. So they're going there. They send these guys. We got Joe Manganiello or whatever.
Manganello?
Manganello, yeah.
Manganello? I think that's what it is. There might be
Sounds
another
right.
syllable in there I'm missing. No disrespect, Joe.
No.
No disrespect. He's a listener. He's emailed.
Oh, I know. He's great. He was great in Pee-wee's Big Vacation.
He was great in True Blood, dude. Remember? He was like the
yeah.
wolf guy. That's where I remember seeing him. I think he was a Magic Mike guy too, but I have no idea. I haven't seen those.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Who would know that?
They're probably, yeah, I never would see those. She's like,
So they're helicoptering around Wyoming looking for the crash site. They find it, and they find a whole bunch of dead wolves. And they're like, what the fuck's going on here? They're like, well, it looks like a bigger wolf killed all these wolves. So they go looking for this wolf.
yep, either capture or kill it is the order from Claire.
Yeah, she doesn't give a shit. Dead or alive, they need that. They can take the DNA and get their serum back or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So they cut back to Energyne, and they show in the office that you're talking about, there's a Rampage arcade cabinet.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I thought that was neat.
Little subtle shout outs. I think so far I'm on board with this movie 100%.
Yeah, and they call it the Rampage virus or whatever.
Yeah, they do. It was like codename Rampage or whatever.
Yeah, and I wonder if it all just stemmed from the game.
Maybe
That's why it was there.
The arcade cabinet just started leaking something. They're like, what is this? We should study it.
All right. So cut back to The Rock and PJ Byrne. What the hell is his name in this?
Nelson.
Nelson. Okay. Cut back to Rock and Nelson. They're trying to figure out what to do with George. And then we get introduced to the geneticist, Dr. Caldwell.
Yes. Dr. Kate Caldwell.
She comes in. She talks to The Rock. She's like, I need to get that sample back. And they're like, well, we don't have it. It's just a fucking empty container now. And now George is 9 feet tall and 1,000 pounds.
Huge gorilla. Terrifying. They're terrifying than their normal size.
Yeah. 6 foot is too big for a monkey.
Yeah. Goddamn right.
So she's talking CRISPR bullshit, blah, blah, blah. She developed this drug. She's the only one that can cure George. So let's do it. And George freaks out, breaks out, runs amok. Cops show up, ready to blast him.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets tranked from a helicopter instead. And
Yeah. The helicopter came out of nowhere.
yeah, out of nowhere, some strange government helicopter, I'm sure. Cut back to the wolf killing party. And this fucker is huge. I'd say he's standing, 10 feet tall, 15 feet?
Yeah, he's terrifyingly large. Like when he goes down to bite someone, he's like leaning down.
Yeah, it's like a normal sized dog eating like a cricket or something.
Yeah, it was like a mouse, maybe like something like that.
All right.
It was fucking huge, terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Big ass teeth too.
So they shoot at him a lot, and the wolf ends up jumping and taking the fucking helicopter down and killing Joe.
Yeah, the whole group and Joe, they're all fucking dead. By the way, the scene where it jumped and took out the helicopter was fucking awesome.
That was, but that's the first part of the size differences where they like it's not consistent throughout the movie.
No, it doesn't make sense. You're right.
I
was so caught up in the ridiculousness yeah, we'll get into that towards the end.
But it was just annoying me. I was like, wait a minute, he was huge on the ground, but then no. But it takes down a helicopter, kills all these army guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bummer. So cut back to the Rock and the Dr. Caldwell, and they're in cuffs now. I don't know if I missed something or if they just got arrested for disturbing the peace or what.
I think the government was the one that shot George, and they just arrested both of them.
Because they're in it. They know.
Yeah,
too
they're
much.
in the know. Yeah.
Right.
Although I don't know how the government would have known about George, especially that fast. Like maybe they found out where it landed and just went to like check it out, and that's when they got there the next morning.
Yeah, I
guess that kind of makes sense. And they were just ready to trank whatever.
Yeah, but why would they even think that?
They don't even know about the wolf yet. Well,
No.
they may know about the wolf. We don't know. It's a little fuzzy, but I'm nitpicking at this point. I don't want to take too many points away for that.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan shows up. He's in the other government agencies, OGA, you know what I mean?
I personally love Jeffrey Dean Morgan whenever he shows up in anything.
Yeah, he's great.
But I'm pretty sure he plays the same character in most of the things he's in.
Yeah,
like that charming, slightly intimidating. Like he was that in, what was the movie he was in with the Assassins?
Right. He was
What's
like that in
The
The Boys,
Losers.
too. Like a government guy who's just shady
Yeah,
as
like
shit.
a CIA guy in The Boys. The Losers, he played that same role, basically.
Yeah.
But I like him. He's great. And I do want to shout out really quick for my supernatural heads out there. Jeffrey D. Morgan's character, Agent Harvey Russell, he has a nickel-plated M1911A1 Colt with ivory handles. That's the gun he carries. It's the same one his character used in Supernatural.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to shout that out.
That's
That's
interesting.
a fun little factoid.
So he decides, well, we're putting George and you guys, you're going on this plane, this large-ass plane, and we're going to go to a government facility. And while we're doing that, why don't you, he tells The Rock this real story about the geneticist, Dr. Caldwell. Says she was fired from Energyne a long time ago. She spent time in jail. All this. So she was lying to you.
But like the way he delivers it and the effect on The Rock's face, like the vibe I got was that we're supposed to like root against her, or like we shouldn't like her, like she's supposed to be a bad person.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to play her in that. Like, hey, she's lying to you. So who knows what else she's lying about, you know?
Yeah, which you're right. That's more of a fair, I won't say comparison, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever.
But I don't know. I mean, I think stealing from corporations is awesome.
Yes.
Especially when like, we find out later she tried to destroy all the evidence of this and all the parts of the project so it could never be released.
Yeah, she didn't know that they were using her research in a negative way.
Yeah, she had no idea until she saw the news footage.
And that's why she was doing what she did.
Yeah.
But we cut back to Energyne, and we see that they have a large radio antenna on top that they can use to, send out a dog whistle signal that will affect these creatures wherever they are and make them come here and destroy it.
Why did they do that?
Because they want to get the creatures, and I guess they can't get there. They say if they come there and then the army takes them out, then they can get their DNA. That's what Malin Ackerman says.
Okay. Follow-up question. Who's to say that didn't work? Like, who's to say there wasn't a scientist that went over to that dead gator at the end?
Yeah, it could have easily worked because they're all just laying there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, something to think about.
Maybe
I
the
guess.
corporation did get what they wanted. They're all dead, though.
I should also mention the last news that came out was from 2022, which said both the director and The Rock would be interested in a sequel, but nothing's happening.
Yeah. We don't really need it, do we?
It would just, I feel like, be more of the same. Like there'd just be George left, and then there'd be a reason to bring back like other huge animals. Like you'd have to have a reason for the virus leaking out to other animals. Like it would be.
Yeah.
I don't see a path for it being great. But what do I know? I don't write movies for a living.
It could still be fun. Who cares? But now we cut back to the inside of this plane, this cargo jet or whatever, and George wakes up because he was tranked. He wakes up and he freaks out, and jumping around causes the whole plane to be taken down. Not only him jumping around, but they're shooting ridiculous amounts of ammo at him.
So much.
For what?
So many.
Why? You realize it doesn't take him down after a couple rounds. Just why keep doing it? In a fucking metal encased plane hull.
Yeah, you're either damaging the thing that's flying you to safety, or you're just pissing off the animal that will then damage the thing that's flying you to safety.
Yeah, or you're ricocheting and shooting yourself or other people.
Yeah, that too. That lead has to go somewhere.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Well, it does. It hits one of the engines and causes the plane to crash. So while it's crashing, we get The Rock, we get Dr. Caldwell. They find parachutes. They put them on. They put a parachute on the government guy. And yeah, they save his life when they're falling out of the plane.
So the plane is now nosediving to the ground.
Right.
And The Rock is able to unchain a forklift and crash into George. He's able to put his own parachute on. He's able to get Naomi a parachute and help her put it on. Then he's able to get her off the plane. Then he puts a parachute on the unconscious Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He unlocks his hand from a rope at the last second, and then he hugs him till he wakes up and sets off his parachute. He did that in how long do you think a plane is falling out of the sky? Like a minute max?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah. At the most. I mean, how high is this fucking cargo plane flying?
Oh man, we can't do math.
Yeah,
it was probably, if it's normal cruising, like 40,000 feet.
Yeah, well,
Someone can do the math on how fast that will hit the ground, but it wasn't like gliding. It was fucking going straight down.
Yeah, it was almost a straight nosedive the way they're hanging on in the back.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff to happen too fast. Didn't buy it. This is my first gripe.
Wouldn't they be like almost weightless if it was going down like that?
You'd think so, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a physicist.
No, we can't even do the math. How long it was.
Yeah. So this plane crashes in a field and they parachute safely. But when they get there, George survived the plane crash and he took off.
Oh shit.
And at this point, he's 20 fucking feet tall? I don't know.
Yeah, he's huge. He's massive. He was woken up by the crazy radio getting turned on, went apeshit, which is an apt description.
Yeah.
And now he's like 20 feet, 25 feet. He's fucking huge.
Yeah, I can't believe they didn't see him running while they're parachuting down.
You think, right?
Yeah. It's not like he could just sneak away. It was a cornfield, for fuck's sake. He's twice the size of corn.
Which is another thing I want to talk about. They crashed the plane, and they, like, The Rock and Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Dr. Caldwell, they went to the wreckage. They were looking around. They were playing it like they were stranded in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like, if corn is there's a farmer close.
Somewhere. Within a mile.
Like, they should be able to stand on a hill and look around and see a house.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I thought that was a little silly, and if we're going to really get into it, it looked like that corn was like ready to harvest. So someone would be out there like taking samples, checking it, putting down pesticides. Like
someone would be done there.
Corn's work, man. Corn's a lot of work. That's why people don't do it at their houses. So, all right. Sorry, you guys know all my corn knowledge now. You're welcome, listeners.
Man, I can go for some good corn on the cob.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But, well, the government guy's trying to get a flight out of there. So, cut back to FBI has a warrant for Energine. They want all the info. They want everything. So they're ransacking the offices, taking all hard drives, computers, everything they can get their hands on.
I don't, like, the government response time on that warrant and that seizure is some kind of record.
Oh, yeah, it was a day since
Not
the
even.
crash.
Yeah, it was like, what? Well, at some point, people were made aware of the wolf first, I think.
Yeah.
Like people as in like us would have heard about this happening in Wyoming by now.
Yeah, they said it was all over the internet.
Yeah, and we also should note, we saw the thing hit the Everglades, we saw a gator get near it, and we cut away once in a while to like the gator moving up the Mississippi and
Yeah, that
making your way to Chicago.
blows my mind that nobody knows about this gator yet.
Yeah, especially like once the news starts hitting that there's this oversized gorilla and oversized wolf beelining to Chicago. Like once that started hitting,
Yeah.
you would think people would be like, I did see a fucking 60-foot hump in the Mississippi the other day.
It was fucking moving boats.
Yeah, it was capsizing boats.
Yeah. Weird.
That part was awesome. Anyway.
Then Dr. Caldwell is talking to The Rock here. It's like, oh my God, you hate people. Because this just keeps coming up. He hates people. Blah, blah, blah.
Even though JDM is being a complete dick to him.
Yeah.
And I feel like The Rock is just giving it back. Right? Like, I don't think The Rock's being unreasonable. He's being a tough guy and they're dick measuring and stuff, but.
Yeah, but there's no reason for her to be like, you hate people. You know him for fucking 3 hours.
That was a big personality leap.
Yeah. But he goes off and he tells a story about how he used to hunt poachers and he hated them. They were terrible people. And he tells how he met George. There were poachers killing his family. And the poachers fired at him, but missed. But he fired back and he didn't miss.
Jesus.
So.
That, I didn't like that line.
No.
You should have just said something like, well, we saved George and got out of there, so do you think they just left? Or, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but.
Yeah, it didn't have to be like, yeah, I killed him.
But he could have said nothing.
And I don't care.
A better actor would have portrayed that all with their face with one look.
Oh.
And then we'd know. We'd
Yes.
know what happened.
Yes.
The Rock at this stage in his career, which was, to be fair, 6 years ago, still learning.
This is before his big breakthroughs, I think.
This was a weird, like, 4 or 5 year stretch where The Rock had like 5 movies, like San Andreas. It was this. There's a couple more. I'm not remembering, but they were all big. They all made like 250 million, 500 million worldwide. Like they all got butts and seats, but everyone was like, it was fine.
Yeah. It's a weird time that people are just going to see The Rock.
Yeah, they were just like, if The Rock put his name in a movie, you're getting $300 million.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And he was like going real strong there. And then now he's still working. He's still getting acting roles, but it's not as big, the megastar things as much.
Yeah, doesn't he own fucking WWE now? Some of it.
Who knows? I think he owns a tequila.
Oh,
I think he has
yeah,
an
I heard
energy
about
drink.
that.
He has that whole Under Armour fucking clothing collab thing.
Yeah, he's got plenty of money. He doesn't need to act anymore.
No, he doesn't. Well, that's what I was thinking about too. No, you know what? I'll save that for our cool down topic.
Oh.
I'm gonna write it down before I forget though.
So then Caldwell's talking about how she created this CRISPR bullshit, but she didn't know it was being used as a weapon. She was researching her brother's cancer or something like that. So cut to the government base where they're tracking the wolf and the gorilla, and they're on their way to Chicago. They're running together, which is weird because they should be fighting. But, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, they made a really big deal about that whole thing. They're like, there's no way in any fucking world 2 apex predators would like band up and team up. Like they'd either fight or leave each other alone. Those are the 2 options.
And then Caldwell's like, well, I'm pretty sure they're calling them. There was some type of weird bat DNA we used, so.
Yeah, that was really helpful that she was in that room. You know what I mean? Otherwise,
Yeah, right.
it would have changed the entire direction of the military's response.
They're like, oh, okay. So they're going to Chicago. All right, we got it. And then The Rock and Caldwell are going to escape. Runs into some military man. He tells one guy he's going to choke him until he pisses himself.
I'm pretty sure he does.
Yeah.
And likes it and makes a joke about it.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't want to have to do that. Now you're covered in piss.
That guy's going to have to go to like physical therapy for like 8 weeks. Like he might have a sling.
Yeah, you never know, man. Choking someone out is no joke.
You could easily kill that person.
Yeah.
But I guess The Rock was special forces, so he knows exactly how much air everyone has in their lungs at all times. You learn that in SEAL school. I've heard.
Yeah. I heard you're supposed to. Don't they like put you underwater until you can't breathe in SEALs?
Yeah, I think they do a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah, that's wild.
And all of it's on the beach, so you get sand. Can you imagine having sand in your shoes and then having to run like 4 miles on a beach?
No, that's called blisters, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I assume that's what they're going through at all times.
That's terrible.
Good luck, guys. We love you.
Good on you. I ain't doing it.
Yeah, someone has to do it. It's not going to be me.
So they decide to steal a helicopter. And there's a little joke here where he's like, yeah, I know how to fly a helicopter. It all comes back to you. Yep, it's all coming back to me. Just says that like 4 times before they take off.
Which, it's funny, he just casually knows how to fly a helicopter. That's fucking nuts.
Well, you used to hunt poachers, man.
Never said anything about being a pilot, just he was special forces. Anyway, I'll gloss over that. Sure. You know what? It's possible at some point in his military career before now, because he's like, I don't know, mid-40s in this movie.
Yeah.
It's possible. Sure. He learned how to fly a helicopter. I'll buy that part. But the part that I won't buy is the fact that they stole the medevac chopper, because they're going to need that. They're going to need that medevac chopper. They had like 40 military plane like choppers that were exactly the same. Could have stolen any one of those, but he's like, no, there's too many people around. Let's steal the medevac one, which they will absolutely need at some point during this.
Yeah, there's people getting hurt already. So
yeah, people have been eaten by wolves. Like, you're going to need it. And
Right.
now they're like, we'll take it. They don't even have a second thought about it.
no. So they do it. They take it. They don't only take it. Fucking, what's his name? Government guy gives them the keys.
Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Yep. He says, here, take these keys because I know you guys are doing the right thing.
I know that this is lame. I know it's lame that like they were adversaries. He saved his life and they kind of turned and he's like, I don't know if I like you, but I respect you situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he turns around and goes to just straight up like, maybe it's his intelligence being like, clearly these people are the smartest people we need right this second. So let's help them.
Yeah. Well, she claims to know the antidote, so it might as well try to get it, you know?
Well, plus, I mean, you got to think she made it, right? Or at least had a very pivotal role in it. And the government guy knew this. He's like, why wouldn't we have this?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she be here? She's the person that made it.
True. Yeah.
So-
Makes sense.
I know it was lame that they had that turn and they had this moment, but I kind of liked it. I think Jeffrey D. Morgan is just super fucking charming. And so is The Rock. It's hard to really hate those guys.
Yeah. Right. It worked.
They're just so charming.
So now we see the animals are in some type of quarry and the army's like, all right, fire. So they fire like missiles at them and they send a crew in there to clean up all the bloody parts and shit, get the bodies out. But when they get there, there's no bodies.
What?
The missiles hit the target, but they survived because this virus makes you fucking almost impossible to kill.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big bomb, Chump Slap.
Yeah, it was just a pretty big explosion, man.
That blew up the quarry.
Yeah.
And they like, I don't know, 5 minutes of recovery time. Then they regenerated and they're like, all right, time to kill everything.
Yeah, so they go off and they kill all the army men.
Yeah, all of them. They made new bodies.
Yeah. So they're like, all right, well, that was our last hope at getting rid of them, so we better evacuate Chi-Town. And it's like, oh, too late. The animals are fucking up the city now. Only half the people got out.
That's still a lot of people.
Yeah, well, it's still a lot in those buildings that are getting destroyed.
It was weird, but I didn't understand. There's a moment where they capsize like a double decker. It looks like just a sightseeing boat in that river that runs through Chicago, which I'm sure someone will tell me what it is, but I have no idea.
Yeah, Chicago River.
It's a very famous one. It's in a lot of movies. It's like whenever something shoots in Chicago, they shoot at that intersection. I just don't understand how there's a boat filled with tourists in the middle of a citywide evacuation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, how long have they been evacuating, though? It could only been like half an hour, and they're still trying to get back to the dock.
Maybe they took like a 2-hour tour and they just haven't heard. But then they look around like, why is everybody running around like this?
Yeah. Where is everybody?
Maybe. I don't know. It seems a little, it seemed like whatever, but
this is where they finally see the alligator. They're like, oh my God, we got a bogey in the river. It's like, what's that? It's not ours. It's not a submarine. What is it?
it's an alligator that's like 4 times the size of the wolf and the fucking gorilla. That's what it is.
It's way bigger than anything, and it's spiky like a fucking old dinosaur.
Yeah, it's like, if you think a gator's armor's tough now, holy buckets, this thing is like supercharged. It's like when Shredder came out of that garbage disposal and became Super Shredder.
Yes.
That's what we're looking at.
It's exactly what it was like.
Nailed it.
So why are they still shooting at it with bullets? I don't know, but they're still trying.
So many bullets just doing nothing. They shot the alligator in the face from like 20 feet away with a rocket launcher. And it looked like it went, ow, and then just kept killing everything.
Yeah. It was like one of those little snapper explosion things. Just hit it and it was like, pop. It's like, what the fuck was that?
And it kind of was, like, whoa, hey, okay.
Now I'm just going to eat you.
people. I did enjoy, I don't know if it's the kid in me, but every time one of these monsters like grabbed a Jeep or a tank and just fucking threw it and you just see a body. Like,
yeah, that was neat.
I just loved it. I loved it.
It doesn't make sense that they're there just fucking up the city and not just going to the building. If they went all this way it has to be even louder right there, right?
Yeah, the only thing that makes sense is if they stood in their way and the shots just kind of annoyed them.
Maybe, yeah, it was annoyed him enough to be like, get the fuck off me.
Yeah, exactly. Because they do fuck up those military guys right in the beginning when they get there.
Yeah.
But then from there, they're kind of like blasting through.
You're right.
But yeah, that has to be so loud right there.
So now, Doctor and The Rock, they want to go get the antidote. So they land in their helicopter. They go into the building, Energine, and they find the antidote. Great. And then
that was easy. I just don't understand how does the government clear out everything, but they leave all the samples and antidote or something?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, or like the stuff that's clearly labeled enough where The Rock, who is a primatologist, who I guess kind of knows a bit about science, he understands the lingo and everything, but he points it out immediately like, oh, it's this one. It says Rampage.
Well, yeah, she tells him what to look for, though. She's like, look for something that starts with BG.
That's true. But he saw it right away, and the FBI, who did a sweep of the building, did not see that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
This is where it starts. This is where you can tell this is where it's starting to kind of lose me.
Yeah, exactly. We're at about hour and a half.
Yeah, a couple edits in here could have made this great.
Mm-hmm. So now we find out that the Army's they're going to drop a mother of all bombs on Chicago just to get rid of these guys.
I guess, it's not a nuclear bomb, but it's like the biggest non-nuclear bomb or something like that.
Yeah, the Moab.
Yeah, it actually stands for something, like something ordnance.
Nope, it's mother of all bombs.
That's what, okay, you're right. As you were saying.
Multiple ordnance aerial bombardment. Sounds good.
Okay.
But they're looking for something. I don't know, looking for something on the computer, but they're like, oh my God, all the computers are gone. But FBI didn't think to take the thermostat, which is running on some type of iPad that has a backdoor into all the fucking information. Like, what the fuck?
It's hacking the Gibson, man. It's just a new way of adding in a couple buzzwords. Instead of saying I'm gonna penetrate the mainframe, they say all this bullshit workaround stuff through a thermostat that has bad security on it or something. Who cares? It's hacking the Gibson.
It was hacking the Gibson.
That's all it is.
But then Malin Ackerman and her brother show up with a gun, and they're like, we're going to take that antidote from you. It's not really an antidote anyway. It just stops the rage. So there's still going to be large creatures, but...
Yeah, I guess that's all it does, is stop them from being brainwashed and blinded by anger.
Yeah, which wouldn't matter to the wolf or alligator because they're wild creatures to begin with.
Probably not.
They won't be as angry, I guess, but...
No, like big predators like that, especially if they were in the middle of the city, I think if they like snapped out of it, they'd be like, what the fuck? And they'd run. Like they'd scatter.
Yeah, true.
I don't think they'd put it together as wild animals to be like, oh, I can take down a fucking building by myself. Like I don't think they'd put it. They just be like, oh God, water, or oh God, I'm going back to the woods, or I think they'd run.
Yeah, I don't know.
They'd probably just be like, hey, are we cool? Yeah, dude, just leave me alone. All right.
Yeah, you're a big fucking alligator and you're bigger than this big ass wolf. So
yeah, he'll be like, do you want some? And the wolf's like, nope.
No,
thanks.
I'm fine.
I'm good, thanks.
So people show up. They end up shooting The Rock in the gut, and they take Caldwell hostage. I don't know why. They wanted to kill her anyway.
Yeah, it was all because The Rock was like, or they're like, get up to the roof. You're coming with us. And they're like, it's not going to happen. And then she shoots him.
Yeah, and she's like, well, if that's not going to happen, I'm taking her.
Yeah, because she doesn't really need The Rock.
No.
She was just showing her she's serious. It was, but like a gut shot, dude. Like,
yeah, seriously, come on. That's fucking... First off, that's going to take a while to die.
Yeah, but you're still going to die probably. I think I would have... I think this is a perfect example of a movie that should have had a shoulder wound.
Yeah.
Like the classic movie in the shoulder. I'm kind of like, oh, my arm hurts, but that's about it. The ones that action movie heroes shake off all the time. Mm-hmm. That should have been there, not a gut shot.
No, that was... Yeah, that would have been terrible. But that's what happens. And they go up to the helipad on the roof. And now the animals show up.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're really pissed. They want to stop this fucking loud dog whistle. And they're about to get in the helicopter and leave when, boom, The Rock shows up. He's not dead, motherfucker.
No, he comes out of nowhere and pulls away Dr. Caldwell from a fallen helicopter.
Yeah. And then they decide to throw the antidote in Ackerman's purse and feed her to the fucking George.
Yeah.
Which In these next like 3 scenes where they show George, he goes from like 10 feet to 30 feet to 60 feet tall because he eats her in one fucking gulp.
Yeah, he sure does.
How big would he'd be huge.
She was like bent over with his wide open mouth, but still, that's like a 6 foot fucking mouth, like top to bottom.
Yeah, so your mouth is wide, what, like fucking 5 feet wide, and then, yeah.
Or like 5 feet by 4 feet or something like that.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Very inconsistent size.
I do want to mention Easter egg here. Claire is wearing a red dress.
Ah.
When you played the NES game, sometimes when you punched holes into buildings, you'd see a woman wearing a red dress, and if you ate her, you got health.
Yes. All right.
So it was like a
that's
subtle
neat.
shout out to that. I thought that was fun. That's a fun shout out.
I like that. So then we get to Claire's brother and Jeffrey Dean Morgan are meeting up in the lobby of the building of Energine. And he's like, hey, give me that laptop. It's got all the info. And give me that the rat, and you can go free. So he's like,
I love that.
Yeah, sure. No fucking problem.
He's like, it wasn't even me. I didn't do it. I didn't go to the... He's like, I'll tell you what. Give me that laptop. I can walk right out of here.
He's like, really?
And he's like, really? Yeah, absolutely. Give me that rat, too, while you're at it.
Yeah.
So he hands over the rat in a cage, and then...
Yeah, and he's like, nobody's gone to jail for being complicit, have they? He's like, okay.
Yeah. Brett's awesome. He was a great kid. That actor came in and nailed that role to the wall with the few scenes he had.
Yeah.
I love the one moment where he's just standing there eating a fucking huge Pop-Tart. like eating his breakfast. It's just a huge Pop-Tart. That was a nice moment. Shout out to Brett. I'm going to find his real name.
Right. So they let him leave the building. And the second he steps outside, he gets crushed by a falling piece of debris.
Yeah, like real good. It's gross.
Yeah, he splashes blood all over.
And then Jeffrey Dean Morgan's just like, ooh, I'm going to use a different exit. And then just goes out a different door and it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know why he's even in that building then. That place is ready to fall any second now.
I don't understand how there's like 4 moments in this movie where he's just there.
Yeah.
And that's too many. That part's too many, guys.
How'd he get there? They stole a helicopter to get there as fast as they did.
Yeah, how did he get there like 5 minutes later?
Yeah, I don't know.
He must have handed them the keys and been like, because doesn't he hand off the keys and then he goes back in and talks to the colonel,
right? And
is like, hey, my guys are, I sent a team. Maybe you could support them. He's like, is that The Rock and Dr. Caldwell? Well, yeah, and they have a conversation. That's what I'm getting at. There was time elapsed.
Yeah, because he's trying to make them not drop the bomb. He's like, well, I'll send my team. Let's give them time to fucking do this.
Yeah, because no one
to drop it.
And he does mention to the colonel how important. He's like, you're going to drop the largest bomb we have on American soil.
Yeah, he's like, that's going to be terrible.
That's going to be real bad. We should try to avoid this.
Yeah. It's a bad legacy. It's a bad look for you.
Yeah, that's the right call, I think.
Right. So they're on the roof, The Rock and Caldwell, and they want to take a helicopter off before the building falls, but the helicopter's broken. So The Rock says, well, we're just going to spin it up and ride the building falling down like you're riding an avalanche.
Yeah, so the helicopter had its tail broken, which meant it could like go up, but there's no counterweight.
Yeah, so it's just going to spin.
So the propellers are spinning one way and the cabin's spinning the other real fast. It's where you see in the movies where they just start spinning real fast and hit the ground. That's essentially what they did and somehow survived. Like, not survived, walked away.
Yeah, just
from the helicopter crash.
Easily walked away. He's like, yeah, I do this all the time. First off, I didn't even remember how to fly a helicopter. Now I'm going to fly a broken one off a fucking falling building.
And do arguably amazing job getting that thing out of there.
It's wild.
And yeah, they just walk away from. I don't think we needed this. You know what I would have liked? Just to jump off the building. Maybe
get another parachute out of the fucking helicopter or something.
Fine. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Like maybe he grabs it, throws it on real quick, and like hugs her, to like.
Yeah, just 2 people, 1 parachute. Yeah, I would have been fine with that. It would have made sense. Way more sense than this.
Even if there was a real dumb reason, like that morning there was going to be a glider competition taking off from the roof of their building, so there's just 50 gliders left. I would have taken that too. That's fucking stupid.
Or there's like fucking those daredevils who jump off of buildings just up there.
Yeah, it was like all their motorcycles and like a ramp that goes perfectly onto the next building. I would have taken that too. That would have been sick. You could have flown over the building as it collapsed. Guys, just let me do a rewrite at the end. Just one last rewrite. Yeah. I can give you a couple things here.
That would have been great. So now they're like, well, we got to call off the airstrike because the antidote worked. George is not aggressive now, and he's going to help us. So he sends Caldwell off to try to call off the airstrike with the army, while he and George are going to attack the wolf and the alligator.
Makes sense.
So they're having a big fight. This is the big battle at the end, where we find out the wolf has fucking flying squirrel bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
why? Why do that for one scene?
1 scene, 1 second, the wolf gets thrown, blasts out its wings, swings back around. It's kind of like one of those flying squirrels.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Apparently, if you put flying squirrel DNA on a wolf, it works like that.
I'm also embarrassed for them because they threw the biggest bomb they could at it. At the quarry, besides the Moab, of course.
Yeah.
They fucking sent tanks, rocket launchers, everything, and the Rock's like, I can beat it with 1 grenade launcher.
Yeah, he has a grenade launcher and a belt full of hand grenades.
Yeah, and he's like, I got this. I can do what a tank couldn't. Multiple tanks.
He saw the video of the missile hitting them and still thought, yeah, that's fine. I
got a shot here. Or alternately, knew he was going to die for his gorilla friend and was fine with it.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he doesn't seem like he really cares about life.
No, but Davis Okoye, which is his name in this.
Oh, okay.
Which we did not mention yet. If that's the case and you're willing to die for your gorilla friend, maybe talk to somebody.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk to somebody.
Better help.
Yeah, better. Not a sponsor.
No, but you can give us money for that one.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
But, all right. Well, they're fighting. There's this big fight going on. The wolf jumps at the croc or alligator, and it gets its head bitten off.
Which was pretty fucking cool.
That was gnarly.
It was real gnarly. This movie was only PG-13.
That's wild. Because I guess because it was animals fighting, but there's still people dying and shit.
Yeah, like getting thrown, getting bit in half. Didn't one guy get bit in half during the wolf fight?
Yeah. Well, Joe gets picked up by the teeth.
Oh, yeah, that was super violent, like shaking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, PG-13, bro. I guess that's fine.
Well, I guess there were no curse words in it. So
there were no boobs, thank God.
Weird. And then George starts riding the fucking alligator around, beating it, stabbing it in the head with its own tusk.
Again, awesome.
That was pretty neat, yeah. Then here's where the Rock gets a really sweet throw of a hand grenade belt into the gill of the fucking alligator. It doesn't kill it, but it slows it down for a little bit. And now this alligator tosses George into a building and he gets impaled on a spike that goes right through his chest. Looks like he hit a lung. Looks like it would be painful.
Yeah, I don't know what he got impaled on.
I don't know. It looked like a flagpole on from the top of a building.
Oh, maybe. That'd make more sense.
I have no idea. Whatever it was, he's stuck on it for now.
Yeah, he tried to even those scenes where the images of George trying to rip it out, like they felt so real. I don't know why, but he was wincing and trying to get it and couldn't pull it out from where it was.
I think it's mocapped.
Yeah, the George was mocapped, but the other two were not.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah,
that'd be a weird mocap session.
I'd like to see the original mocapping just to see the guy in green with the little dots all over him.
Yeah. Changing sizes. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Rock jumps into a downed helicopter here and starts shooting because we know that works so well.
Yeah, he's just trying to get him away from George because George was about to die.
Yep. So he shoots a couple missiles and the 50 cal until it's out of bullets. And the alligator just comes fucking running at him. So he jumps out.
Barely misses the first mouth throw.
Yes.
Chomp? I don't know.
Yeah,
mouth attack? Chomp. We'll call it chomp.
So he gets stuck in a downed building and the alligator can't quite get his mouth in there. So he's so close though.
So close. You could feel the skin of his teeth. Yeah,
that had to be warm, just disgusting.
Oh, it's so humid, right? And just, oh yeah.
What a terrible smell, I bet, too.
Oh, God. But then we should mention, we glossed over in the beginning, but right when the Rock got into the fight, he was about to get eaten by the gator, and the gorilla jumped behind the gator and hit him in the head with a fucking crane or something.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And saved the Rock at the last minute.
Yeah, George is saving the Rock's life at least 4 times in this fight.
But this moment right here where the gator's about to get him, the same exact thing happens. It might be the same frame. It might be the same animation where George comes jumping from behind and stabs the alligator in the eyeball.
Yeah.
It's the same move. They just did it 6 minutes apart.
They sure did.
I was just like, really? The same thing? Okay.
Well, how else are you going to do it? I guess you got to stab in the eye.
What there should have been, this is what I'm saying, I should have had a rewrite on this, but the first one, the gator's about to bite him, or the second one maybe, but in one of them, the gator's about to close his chompers right on the rock, and then he somehow misses, and we find out George is pulling his tail.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been sick. There you go. That would have been a free one, guys. Just give me like one rewrite.
Could have made this scene so good.
I could have fixed at least, well, of all the things I pitched, I think 2 out of 5 were good.
Yeah. As long as you made the size of the beasts consistent, I would have loved it.
I would have wrote that like on every page, double underlined. This doesn't exactly make sense. Continuity error.
Right. So yeah, that's it. George fucking stabs the gator in the eye. Boom, it's dead. And just in time for the army to see it and call off the bomb.
So the monsters work by zombie rules. Remove the head or destroy the brain.
I guess, yeah. I don't know why the brain can't regenerate.
That's what I was
everything
thinking
else
too.
can.
Like, oh, here we go. The start of the sequel. They're on site. They pull the thing out of the guy's eyeball. It regenerates and says, and then goes into the water.
And it has babies.
It has babies. Oh my God.
Little alligator gorilla babies somehow.
The alligator babies are just the size of a bus.
Right.
But let's make it so they can be killed, but in a weird way.
Radiation has to kill them.
I was thinking music like in Mars Attacks, but we'll workshop
All right,
that.
yeah, we'll work on it.
Yeah. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, we got it.
Just need to zero into that. Yeah.
So there's the creatures are dead and George just dies here. No, just slowly dies.
He got real fucked up in that fight.
Yeah.
He almost lost like 3 times.
True. He's all bloody. And The Rock's really upset now. He's like, oh no, George, thank you for saving my life.
I love you.
He's
Tear.
yes. Oh, snap. Psych. George was faking it.
What an asshole.
Jokes about his fucking death. What? Who does that?
What a dick. Like he pulled it off and then he flips off the rock. And then
he flips off and then tells The Rock to fucking have sex.
yeah, he's like, are you two banging or what? Like that's the energy he put out. And they're just like, whoa, George, whoa.
That's The Rock's move, I think. He
Yeah,
gets
it's
George
Rock's
to
move.
say that shit and just like, whoa, what the? George.
Oh my God, George, that's crazy. Are you into it or? Yeah, but no, it's okay. It's okay.
monkey-
No,
no.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
The gorilla doesn't have to watch. I mean,
George and I are in on it. That was just a little, whatever. Anyway, you don't work for me, so it's not sexual harassment. Anyway.
And yeah, that's it. Then we have like some disaster after scenes of people getting fixed up and shit.
Yeah, we're led to believe that everything's good now and it's all fine.
They're gonna find a place for George to live.
Which, goddamn it, how much food must that thing eat? Like a fucking dump truck worth of something? Like,
Yeah, they say it doesn't. The serum only stopped the rage, so it's still gonna grow exponentially.
that's a good point. Is there a ceiling to how much it grows?
I don't know.
Or does it just keep growing till it fucking becomes the size of the Earth? Because that could be an interesting sequel.
Well, no, they said the growth thing was from whale DNA. So I mean, whales do eventually stop growing, right?
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's not a total size, like it's not 100 feet, it's X5 or X10
Yeah,
or
whatever
something
it
like
would
that.
be.
That's probably how science works, right?
That's how I think it works. And if I understand correctly, I'm pretty spot on with that shit.
Yeah. You should listen to a guy that has a Bachelor of Arts degree and a guy that has his PhD from the streets.
Right? You got that right.
Absolutely. Overall, what do you think?
Overall, I mean, it was entertaining. It was inconsistent, though, with the size that really bothered me.
I know. I agree. I liked it overall.
Yeah.
I would watch it again. The Rock and Jeffrey Dean Morgan were very charming. They were fun to watch. Malin Ackerman and Brent are great. Like, they're great villains.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun. Like, there's those couple of like little changes that could be made that could have made this like great or like schlocky or like a fun party watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It kind of took itself too seriously. but
just a little too much.
yeah.
Like, I need you to apply the same amount of energy you applied with a random serum making monsters huge to the rest of the story.
Yes, there you go.
Because that part is crazy and a leap, and I'm on board and everything, but let's make the whole thing a little crazy, little couple leaps here, a little nuts.
Yeah.
And they took it very seriously, which I don't know if that was the move, but
It works though.
it works for it. I think it does. I originally saw this in the theater.
That's wild.
Well, the only reason I saw it in the theater was I was working a job where we had a 5-week on-call rotation. Like every 5 weeks, you had to be on call 1 week.
Right.
And it really sucked. It was a lot of after-hours stuff, which was garbage. Like at least 2 nights a week, you'd be working 2-3 extra hours. Fucking sucked. So every time my on-call ended, I went to the movie theater and treated myself at the Alamo and got dinner, and I watched a movie. And that happened on whatever date it happened. And sometimes the best movie available to you at the moment is Rampage. So you saw Rampage in the theater by yourself.
Hey, it could have been worse.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I saw Blair Witch, that 2018 remake. It was mostly in 2018 this happened. I saw a lot of movies
Makes
in
sense.
2018.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked it. Could have made a couple small changes, but it's fine. It's way better than most of the movies we watch for this, except for, of course, Double Dragon.
Yeah, of course. It was
That movie.
beautiful. But yeah, I mean, it was trying to be a huge blockbuster. I don't think it really did as well as they wanted to, but
It made $430 million on a budget of $140. So that's a success.
It did fine.
Yeah. It's weird how like no movies used to ever hit $1 billion. Like it was Titanic in 99 because it was out in the theater for 3 fucking years.
Yeah.
And that was it until like Marvel came along. Now all of them try to make $1 billion. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. But that's the fucking world, man. You gotta keep making more money, bro.
Scientists will be there every time. Week 1. That's his jam.
Yeah. I wonder if you saw Deadpool.
That's a good question. Oh yeah. If you're still listening, thank you, by the way. But
yes.
Depending on what happens in the next couple weeks, if you're hearing this in summer, I had a baby and didn't have time to record an episode. So this is the filler one, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, if not, whatever.
If you're hearing this in like January, we just added another week to our vacation.
Yeah, there you go.
So you'll hear it eventually. You'll love it. And wanted to end with a cool down topic.
Okay.
So let's say, Chump Slap, you're working a job, whatever. It's something you worked at your entire life. It can be an actor, it can be a celebrity, whatever, doesn't matter. Let's say you're doing this job, this high profile job, and you get to a point where financially you're going to be comfortable the rest of your life. Whatever, family, kids, whoever you want to take care of.
All right,
Everyone's
like I
gonna
have
be-
the money and I don't need to work anymore?
Yes, the question is, if you had that amount of money, would you still work? And when I say would you still work, I mean, would you still keep doing the thing that got you here? So if you were an actor, would you keep being an actor? If you were a YouTube star, if you were a celebrity, if you were a musician, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever has now turned into your day job.
Yeah. I mean, if I was a musician and I really enjoyed making music and I made money off it, why not? I might not tour as much as that before, but yeah, if I had a job that I actually enjoyed, I wouldn't mind doing it just to keep busy every now and again. You can't just vacation all the time, you know what I mean?
You would kind of like scale it back.
Yeah.
Like you'd still keep doing the thing you love, but you'd take more time for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like Nicolas Cage.
That man work all the time.
I know, I was being sarcastic. But
Oh,
the
okay.
opposite of Nicolas Cage.
I got you. Yeah, I thought about this like a lot,
Yeah.
and if I was in my situation, I would not keep doing what I'm doing. Like
No,
I would.
If
I would
this
not.
job I'm at now, no,
Yeah.
I'd quit it in a heartbeat if I could.
Yeah, exactly. But like, if I was doing something I loved, then yeah, I'd probably keep doing it, or I'd learn something else. Like I wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah, I'd have to.
I might do
something.
nothing for like a couple months. Don't get me wrong, but eventually I'd be like, I gotta occupy the time with something else besides like leisure, like
Yeah.
some kind of project or something.
Yeah, you'd have to make something if that's all you ever did, I'd assume.
If this happened to me tomorrow, I'd probably take some good time off and visit people and see people because I haven't been able to do that as much. And then I would probably, I don't know, I think I'd just start making beats. I think I'd get into that.
Yeah.
That'd be my thing right now. Like figure out how to do it. Like I have all the time in the world, figure out how to do it,
I'd
get the
be like
software,
fucking
whatever.
G.W. Bush and just start painting stupid portraits,
Nice. That'd be awesome.
right?
But yeah, I don't like the example that made me think of this was Chris Tucker, because he was in movies. He got to starring roles. He went to the Rush Hour. He did that series, made fucking bank, like a lot of money, and then was just like, why? I'm done. Like, I'm good. I don't need to keep acting.
Well, yeah, maybe if you had like a family you could be like a full-time dad, it would be one thing. But
I mean, it'd be nice to have that option ever, but
yeah.
like, yeah, probably, right? You'd have more important things in your life, or you'd have passions.
Yeah, I'd still feel like you'd want to do something eventually.
Yeah, I was thinking at first I wouldn't want to do anything, but now I'm rethinking that. It'd have to, like, I'm too crazy. Like, I never sit down when I'm at home. I'm always running around doing something.
Yeah, I mean, I could just do nothing a day or two a week, and then I'd get so tired of it. I'd be like, stop fucking just laying around doing nothing. Do something.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you could play disc golf every morning, dude.
I would, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Every morning. And if you don't go one day, who cares? It's your day. You can do whatever you want.
I'd still wouldn't get better at it.
No, it never would. No, but all right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. If people want to send us emails with more movie recommendations they want us to watch and talk about, where would they send those emails to, Sir Chump Slap?
Well, send that to plottytime@gmail.com, and I'll read, I'll look at it, I'll respond.
Awesome. And where can they get to us on the socials? Do you remember that one?
Yeah, probably on Reddit. You could go there, or you could hit us up on Instagram or Threads, because we're on there. We're not on Twitter, though, so.
No, we're not. Well, I mean, I think the account might still be active, but we're not on there.
Yeah, don't message that.
Don't message us there. Don't do that. And go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe there for new content every month at least. Probably try to throw a little bit more on there, but we'll see how it goes.
Right?
That does it for us. So, as always, shout out Blaine JJ, Drago the Slago, Gamers Little Playground, I am Panex, and Luis Guzman. Don't trust Dr. Scientists, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.
Peace.